Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to introduce you to this basic and simple Buddhist practice. And this practice is known as Sila. Now, the word Sila is a Pali word that we can translate it to English as ethical conduct or virtue. Now, in Buddhism, the Buddha's teachings are always directed to the liberation of mind. Or it is the ultimate goal of Buddhism, the liberation of mind from all the sufferings. To achieve this state, Buddha taught us that you should practice 3 practices. First one is Sila, which we are going to discuss today. It is called the ethical conduct. Second one is Samadhi. Samadhi means concentration. And the third one is Paññā, or it is known as wisdom in Buddhism. So, Sila plays a crucial role in Buddhism and Buddhist practice. So what do you mean by ethical conduct? Ethical conduct helps you to be disciplined from your body and from your words. Okay? So once you become disciplined from your body and from your words, then normally your mind will be disciplined. So these are coexisting. Okay? That means these practices help each other. Okay? Once you become disciplined with your mind, you can be disciplined from your body and from your words. Or if you become disciplined from your body and words, normally, automatically it happens that your mind will be disciplined. So that is why the Buddha introduced us these ethical conducts or practice of virtues in Buddhism. Now, basically, Buddha taught us that we need to practice 5 precepts. Okay, these are 5 guidelines that Buddha taught us to practice in daily life. Now, for someone, you may feel like they are a set of rules, but in reality, Buddha never imposed rules on anyone. Okay, these are guidelines, and these are the things that Buddha teaches us to practice because Buddha saw that there are disadvantages if you break these guidelines. For an example, the first practice of Sila is to abstain from killing beings. Okay? So when you kill animals, there are so many disadvantages that comes to your life. And also, you acquire a bad karma because your actions and your intentions are unwholesome. Once you kill animals, kill living beings, your intentions are unwholesome. So through unwholesome intentions and actions, what will happen? You will gain bad karma. And that bad karma will lead to suffering in one's life. And that is why Buddha said, there are disadvantages and there are bad consequences when you do these things. Okay? When you kill animals, when you steal, there are disadvantages that comes to your life. So as beings who likes to be happy in your life, okay, in your personal life, if you like happiness, then stay away from these bad deeds or unwholesome deeds. So abstaining from these unwholesome deeds is known as precepts in Buddhism or Sila or virtue in Buddhism. Okay? So there are mainly 5 precepts that we all need to practice. The first one is abstaining from killing beings. Staying away from harming anyone's life. Okay, first one. The second practice is abstaining from stealing. Abstaining from taking anyone's possessions without permission. Okay, without asking. That is an unwholesome deed and that has many bad consequences. Okay, people have to suffer if they do that. Second one is, Buddha said, abstain or stay away from sexual misconduct. Okay, because when you engage in sexual misconduct, that leads to many bad consequences in your relationships. Okay, so Buddha said, stay away from sexual misconduct. Third one is abstain from or stay away from lying. Okay, when you lie, you break the trust of people. Once you break the trust, there are many problems in your life. Okay, there will be many problems in your life. So Buddha said that stay away from lying. And as the final precept, Buddha said that stay away from intoxicating yourself. Stay away from using drugs and other intoxicants. Okay, because that leads to a lot of sufferings in your life. So these are the main and basic Buddhist practice, or Sila, or precepts, that all the Buddhists practice in all around the world. Okay, so basically these precepts or these virtues helps you to develop a better life and a happy life without regrets. Once monk Ananda asked from the Buddha, what is the purpose of practicing ethical conduct? Then the Buddha said, you should practice ethical conduct to stay away from regret and remorse in your life. Now, if you look at these things, if you look at these 5 precepts, killing, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from telling lies, abstaining from using intoxicants, if you do these things, what will happen? At the end of this deed, there will be nothing but the regret. Okay, you end up regretting yourself, like, why did I do that? Okay, so Buddha said that that is one of the major harms to your life, to your spiritual life, for someone who is engaged and for someone who is seeking the peacefulness in your life. So Buddha said, practice a virtuous life and a clean and a pure life to be happy inside. Once you know that you are happy and you are clean and pure in your mind, in your character, then it will give you a big happiness to your life. So that is why we need to practice these virtues. Okay, that is the purpose of Sila. So understand this simple Buddhist practice and try to practice these precepts in your life. Namo Buddhaya. One of you have asked from us, how can we kill the laziness? How can we do the things without laziness? Okay, today from this Inner Guide Q&A program, we are going to discuss that how can we do the things without the laziness and how can we kill the laziness. To kill the laziness and to do the things without laziness, to stop being lazy in our works, our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us that you should have 4 great qualities. If you have these 4 great qualities within you, you will never feel lazy in your works. You will never feel lazy when you are doing meditations. You will never feel lazy when you are doing studies. To accomplish anything, any special goal in your life, you need to have these 4 great qualities. So what are those great qualities? These are known as 4 iddhipadas. The first great quality, the first iddhipada that you need to have to accomplish anything in your life and to do the things without laziness is called chanda. What do you mean by chanda? Chanda means the desire. If you have the desire for doing something, in one way or another, you are going to do that because you like it, you love it. If you love what you do, or if you do what you love, you will never feel lazy. Now, suppose that you are going a trip or a picnic tomorrow. So tonight, when you are going to bed, you never feel sleepy. You never feel lazy because your mind is excited and you love that day, that coming tomorrow. So you are going to be happy in that day. So if you are doing something that is you like, that you are passionate about, you will never feel lazy. So what you have to do? To kill the laziness, to do the things without the laziness, you need to generate the desire for doing that. If you are doing meditations, you need to have a desire for doing that. Without the desire, if you do the meditations and do the spiritual practices without the desire, you will feel lazy. That is the first great quality, chanda. Here comes the second one. It's called the chitta. Chitta means the mindset. You need to have the determination and you should have the correct mindset to do the thing that you want. You need to have a great determination that I will do this thing today. Right? You need to have that mindset of not giving up. If you have the correct mindset to do something, you will never feel lazy. Because you are well focused to that. Your mind is focused to what you are doing. When your mind is focused to something, you don't feel lazy anymore. You don't feel giving up anymore. You don't feel bored anymore. So what you have to do? You need to have a correct mindset to do that work. Then you will never feel lazy. That is the second step. Third step, and the third great quality, that's called the virya. Virya means effort. To do something, to achieve any good goal in your life, you need to give some effort to that. You need to dedicate yourself. You need to sacrifice your time, your life, your blood and sweat to do that. Then only you can achieve that. When you are dedicated for something, when your mind is dedicated for something, you will never feel lazy. So what you have to do? You need to dedicate yourself and you need to try hard in your works. Try hard in your studies. You should never give up in your meditations. Then you will never feel lazy. Because you are committed to that. You are dedicated to your work. That is the third step. That is the third great quality. Here comes the fourth great quality. That is the final one. It's called the vimamsa. Vimamsa means investigation. You need to investigate what are the ways that I can do my work easily. What are the ways that I can be more productive in my work? If you investigate yourself in your work, then you can kill the laziness. Because sometimes we do the things that we don't love and that we don't like. If you have the power of investigation, that what are the things that I like to do? What are the things that my heart feels free to do? If you do those things, you will never feel lazy. So what you have to do? You need to have these four great qualities. First one is called chanda, the desire. Second one, chitta, the mindset. Third one, virya, the effort. And the final one, vimamsa, the investigation. So if you have these four great qualities, you can do the things without the laziness and you can kill the laziness in your life. So practice these qualities and escape from the laziness and be happy in your life. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another video in Buddhist meditation series. In today's video, we are going to discuss about one of the most frequently asked questions in meditations. And what is that question? How can we stop feeling sleepy during the meditation? So this is one of the most frequently asked and one of the most common experiences in the meditation and one of the most frequently asked questions from the meditation masters. How can we stop the sleepiness in the meditation? So remember, our great teacher Supreme Buddha said, the dullness and the drowsiness or sleepiness is a hindrance for the meditation. Hindrance in the sense, it's sort of like an enemy to the meditation, right? It disrupts your focus, it disrupts your concentration, and it decreases your joyfulness of the meditation. And also Supreme Buddha said, a hindrance will always decrease the wisdom of ourselves. So there are 5 hindrances, and out of those 5, the dullness and the drowsiness and sleepiness is also included. So how can we stop feeling sleepy during the meditation? And what we can do to stop this feeling? Well, there are several things that taught by our great teacher Supreme Buddha to stop feeling sleepy and to deal with the sleepiness during the meditation? First of all, we need to remember that one of the most important things that we need to develop within ourselves during the meditation to stop feeling sleepy is to be aware of our thoughts. Right? If you are not being aware of your thoughts, then the sleepiness will come inside your mind and it will take actions. Right? That is why you are continuing to sleep during the meditation. So the first thing that we need to develop to stop this sleepiness is to be aware of our thoughts. When you feel a little bit of drowsy and dizzy and drowsy during the meditation, then you need to be aware and you need to detect that thought. You need to tell to yourself, now I'm feeling sleepy. Now I have to take actions. Right? So what we can do to stop and deal with this sleepiness? Number one, Supreme Buddha said, first of all, change the perception of meditation. That is the first thing that we can do, right? For an example, if you are doing mindfulness meditation, let's say you become more mindful about your body and you are doing meditation, and with the time, you felt sleepy and drowsy. Now you need to detect that thought and to be aware of that thought, and then you need to shift your perception of meditation. So if you're doing mindfulness meditation, then you can change it to breathing meditation. When you change your perception and when you change the focus of your meditation, it will take you away from the thoughts of drowsiness and sleepiness, right? So that is the first thing that you can do to change the perception of your meditation. You can practice another meditation like loving kindness meditation or gratitude meditation, compassionate meditation, and then after some time, after you're feeling okay with that, then you can come back to the normal meditation that you were doing. So that is the first step. And number two, Supreme Buddha said, change your perception of meditation and start to think and consider about something that you have learned before. It is okay to change the perception and to shift away from the meditation that you are doing and think about something else for a little while to stop this sleepiness. Right? So think about something that you learned in the past and you have to wisely consider about that. And when your mind is thinking about something, then it will distract you and it will take you away from the sleepiness, the thoughts of sleepiness. So that is the second thing that we can do. And the third thing, Supreme Buddha said, you need to recite something. It may be a chanting, it may be a verse that you have learned before. You need to chant it. Right? If your sleepiness is still there, then you can go for a chant. Right? Do a chanting for a little while, and then again, when you feel okay, come back to meditation. So this needs the patience and this needs the courage to do this. And also remember, don't enjoy the sleepiness than the meditation. That is why most of us are feeling sleepy and fall into sleep while meditation. We enjoy the sleepiness more than the meditation. Remember, when you sleep, it is also a sort of relaxation to your mind. But if you meditate correctly, if you build up the concentration and tranquility in the mind from the meditation, you will feel more refreshing and more enjoyable and more relaxed from the meditation than the sleepiness. So don't enjoy your sleepiness than the meditation. Okay, there's another thing that you can do. That is, Supreme Buddha said, you can get up from the seat and you can do a walking meditation. You can walk to back and forth by thinking about the meditation, right? When you walk and when you change your position of meditation, right, then it will also distract you from the sleepiness. So you can do the walking meditation. And still, if your sleepiness is there, then what you can do? Supreme Buddha said, pinch your ears and rub your limbs. When you pinch your ears and rub your limbs, the sleepiness will go away. That is another thing that we can do to stop feeling sleepy. And also, Supreme Buddha said, if you are still feeling sleepy, then get up from the seat and flush your eyes with cold water and go outside and look around the nature, be with the nature for a little while, and again come back and sit down and do the meditation again. And if you're feeling still sleepy, then what you can do? Supreme Buddha said, focus on a light, right? Look at a light and focus on it and take that image into your mind. Now, when we close our eyes, it normally feels like dark and we cannot see anything, right? Sometimes when we get used to the dark, normally it tends our mind to be sleepy. Then if you can imagine a light inside your mind, then your focus will be in that light. So you can stay focused to that light for a little while, and if you feel okay, then again, what you have to do, come back to the meditation again, right? And finally, this is the final thing that Supreme Buddha said us to do to stop sleepiness. Get up from your seat and think about the waking up time. I'm going to wake up from 30 minutes or 1 hour. Have a little nap, but be conscious and be aware of your sleeping time. You can have a little bit of a nap if you're feeling too much sleepy. But most of the time, many of the people who meditate, they choose the final thing first. Don't do that, right? There are many things that you can do, right? You can change the perception, you can recite, you can chant, right? And you can do the walking meditation, and you can flush your eyes with cold water. There are so many things that you can do to stop feeling sleepy. If you continue this with the time, remember, your meditation will be more successful. You will not feel sleepy anymore, right? Most of the time, the beginners of meditation feels sleepy. But when you dive more into that, and when you do it for a little while, you will feel okay, and you will feel more refreshing while doing meditations. So practice these things when you are doing meditation if you felt sleepy, and stay away from the sleepiness. So I hope this gave you a little bit of a light to your meditation. So practice these things and enjoy a perfect and a peaceful meditation. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide Q&A program. Today we're going to be discussing about an important question, and that is the willpower. How to develop our willpower. Coming right up. So when we talk about willpower, first of all we need to understand about this. Willpower is the ability to control our emotions and put ourselves into a schedule and work on it for our own success. So many of us find so much hard, and it is a tough task to run ourselves in a schedule. To do that, we need to have the willpower. We need to have that mental discipline to control the emotions that pop up in our mind. So, how to do this thing? Well, there is a basic and very important factor that always helps us to develop our willpower. And that is known as, our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught us, and that is known as the chanda. Chanda means the desire, passion. So if you have the desire for doing something, if you are passionate on doing something, if you are passionate of developing yourself, you will be always motivated and you will always have that energy within yourself to do that, right? But many of the students actually, and many of us, find very hard to get up early in the morning and start studying. Why? Because we don't have that willpower. To develop that willpower, we need to have the desire for doing that, right? So desire or the passion is the factor that drives through these tough tasks. So first of all, we need to develop the passion or the desire for our own success. So how to do that? So if you see some advantages of doing something, right? If you feel the advantages of doing something, then you will be passionate on doing that. So for an example, if I tell you that tomorrow you're going to go a picnic or a trip, so you should show up at 3 a.m. in the morning to a specific place. Normally, we will get up at maybe 2 a.m. and we will get ready. We will pack our bags and we will go for that, and we will show up right at 3 a.m. because we are passionate about that. We have that desire to go and have that pleasure. So in that case, you can get up early in the morning. But if we tell a person or a student to get up early in the morning and study, he or she will never do that because you don't have the desire for that. So first of all, you need to contemplate and you need to focus on the advantages of study, right? You need to visualize that the achievements that you are going to achieve in the future, right? So when you see that specific goal and destination that you have to go, and if you visualize that you are going to have that, then you will develop your desire, right? So to develop the passion or the desire, you need to always focus on the advantages of what you are doing. So if you put the love and if you put the desire, your passion into your work, then you will have that willpower. Your willpower will be developed day by day, right? So willpower or this motivation is not a thing that we get from our birth, right? It should be developed. It's like a muscle, right? It is quite same that when you go to the gym and when you work out, right? Day by day it's growing up, your muscles. That is the nature. But we cannot expect quick results from these things, right? So if you went to the gym and if you work out, right? In the first day, if you come in front of the mirror and look to yourself, there will be no change. But if you are going to the gym constantly and working out, if you work out, your body starts to grow up. Same goes with this willpower, or same goes with success. If you are doing it every day without stopping, that is called the consistency, right? Consistency is the key to success. So if you are working on your success consistently with the willpower, with the love, passion, then it will start to grow. So first of all, you need to develop the willpower. You need to have the passion or the love. To develop that passion, you need to concentrate on the advantages that you are getting by doing these things, right? So now I'm going to talk about what are the things that destroys our willpower? There are some evil and bad habits which can decrease the willpower. So what are these things? These are called the addictions, right? So the first thing that I must say, and the first and the main thing that destroys the willpower, is the addiction to alcoholic drinks and the drugs. They can ruin your willpower very much. So stay away from alcoholic drinks and drugs and everything, because they destroys your mentality, and also they destroys your health, right? The more your health will be destroyed, the more your mentality, your mental strength will be decreased. So stay away from the drugs and alcoholics. And the second thing is, probably this might be a little bit harder for you, actually, it is the video games, right? If you are addicted to gaming all the time, it can cause to decrease the willpower. So these are the things that we call the dangerous or unwanted addictions in our life. So you must stay away from those things, right? And also, finally, the pornography. If you are addicted to watch porn all the time, that will be a huge impact on your willpower. Okay, so it will decrease your willpower day by day. So stay away from these things, right? Stay away from especially the dangerous addictions in your life. Then work on yourself, have that passion inside yourself, think of the advantages, right? Then you can put love, passion into your work, and when you do that continuously, consistently, you will develop your willpower. And once you develop your willpower, you can achieve any goal in your life. So I wish you all, may all of you have that opportunity to develop the willpower within your lives.